Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Canadian Retro. I've got the update here on the Windows XP machine, which was going to originally be a Windows 98 PC, but I found a better candidate for that in a Pentium 3 that I'll be working on next. So what I'm going to be doing though is I'm going to take out a couple of these drives and replace them. I've got two DVD drives here. I've got this one's a multi-recorder. This one is also it says DVD multiplayer. So this is going to be the ROM drive right here. This, it's a DVD ROM drive. This is going to be the actual writer. It's not the light scribe that's already in here, but that's okay. If I want to switch it out to a light scribe just to make it more complete, because that's what it originally kind of came with a light scribe drive. But you can see it has these old style connectors. I'm going to hook these ones up to the SATA connections. So that's what I'm looking at. I got these off of AliExpress, so hopefully they don't burn down the house. And their SATA connection with the power and the data kind of thing. And then on this side, you can hook that into the Molex connector, and then you've got your SATA into your board. And because this has 4 SATA ports, it's a really good candidate for this kind of thing. And I can save these drives for IDE configurations, such as the Pentium 3 that I'm going to be turning into the Windows 98 PC. So hopefully I can get a copy of Windows Media Center Edition for this. I don't know if it's absolutely necessary. Even if I just put XP on this, I should be pretty good to go. So in the update just from the last videos, we were kind of going through putting everything back together. I'm pretty satisfied with all of that. I think everything is set up right. Of course, we did a little bit of testing and it did fire up. I didn't do like the full-on testing, but we'll have to see about that once I get the operating system on here. So that's going to come up in this video as well. But the first part of this is just to button everything else back up and get these 2 drives out of here, get these 2 drives in, and hopefully that goes smooth enough. So let's get into it.
Okay, here we go. So I'm just organizing all the drives, pulling out the old ones. You can see the new ones are down there, but I'm just going to sort of pull this out of here. It's a little jiggery. I'm taking out the cables and everything, getting rid of those old IDE cable connections, getting those drives out of there. Same with the other one, just getting it. It takes a little snug, but I'm getting it out of there, no worries. The next thing that's going to be going on here is just unscrewing those screws, because I think they fit nicely with that and they actually go into the machine. So I'm going to put those into the new drives here in a second. Next thing here is to get rid of that ugly IDE cable out of there, because I'm going to be replacing it with those SATA drives, which I think is going to be a major improvement for everything in here. So there's that old cable gone. Just going to get the cable set up here. Unfortunately, it's off screen, but you get the idea. I'm just plugging everything in here and sliding my new drives in. Pretty excited about it. Just because it is a kind of a major upgrade, I think, for the system. The system never had this before, so just sliding it in, make sure everything's nice and snug, and moving on to the next drive here. What we're doing here again is just making sure the cables are plugged in first before I slide it in. I found that was the best way to do it. So I'm just stuffing everything in there, kind of trying to get it in. But a lot cleaner than the IDE cables, and that's what this is really all about. I discovered some of the action where I'm using the screwdriver for the most part, just because I was unscrewing a lot of those little screws there. But plugging in the SATA cables now into the ports down there. There's 4 of them on this board, which is really nice. And so I have I think an extra one there. I'm just plugging in the power to it now, and that's the first drive I kind of set up. I'm doing the second one here and just getting that plugged into one of the SATA ports as well. And of course I'm going to plug in the power for that, and that's pretty much it. I'm just going to button everything up here in a second with some twist ties. You can see I'm organizing it there. Twist those up, and I'm putting 2 of those on there. Not the greatest solution, but it'll work. And you can see I'm putting the second one on, and as well I'm just going to take a pair of scissors here and snip those off. Don't worry, no cables were harmed in the process here, so everything is good to go.
All right. So as you can see there, I've sort of buttoned everything up, put the zip ties on it to try to clean it up a bit. It's still a bit of a mess, not like some modern machine, but less ribbon cable in there. Those IDE cables sure take up a lot of space, and they're, you know, awkward, and they kind of move around. So at least I don't get everything sort of in like a line there. It looks a little cleaner. At least not a professional job by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sure there's probably a better way of doing all this, but I think it'll be fine for, you know, what we're doing here. It's got like extra connectors kind of lying around. I would like to at some point like cap those off or something, just so they're not, you know, touching anything. But I think at this point I'm just gonna fire it up and see if everything kind of holds on it. We're at that point before, so give me a second, I'll readjust the camera and we'll see what happens. Okay, here we go. Let's fire it up and see if everything works out. It seems loud, but let's see what happens. So if we go to F1 into setup, because there's no operating system on this yet though, but I'm seeing DVD, the 2 DVD drives, so they are found on here. So let's go, if you know what I'm saying. We're not going to adjust the date just yet. We'll get onto that. The memory's still there. You can see the 4 gigs of DDR 2 in total, 1 gig in each slot. So we're looking pretty good. I think this is going to be quite the nice little XP machine. I think everything else is going to be fine. So what we're going to get on to next is actually installing an operating system. I just got one last thing to double check and just make sure that these drives open up. We got one. Oh no, am I stuck again? Come on, you. I guess I could have tested these drives before, so at least we got one drive going. We're gonna have to pull that one out and try a different one. It is lighting up, it's just not coming out of there. But if I might be able to give it a little bit of a boost. I'm gonna go through that drive and probably take it apart though, but I'll see if I can give it at least a boost here to get it open. That's where a trusty little paper clip comes in handy, right there. So I'm just gonna put that in and that should at least get it open. So, oh yeah, it struggles a bit, that's for sure. It does open, but very slowly. So we kind of got it going. Maybe if I give it a few opens and closes, it might loosen up the rails. It's going a little bit faster now. So it probably just needed that first little kick, but we're going to have to make sure that, you know, we kind of do that. One last little test here just to check out and see if these drives actually open up. The bottom one I think is that one opens up nice and smoothly. That's pretty good, that top one there. The bottom one here, which is the ROM, it's a little slow, so I might have to open that one up and kind of give it a greasing or something. We'll have to see if it actually reads, but it's getting a little bit better. I've opened it a few times here and there yeah, it's getting a little bit better. It's not too bad, I guess, but still, it'll be probably something to kind of get into. I mean, I cleaned the rest of the system. I might as well make sure I do that as well. But otherwise, let's get into the operating system. And there we have it, the fresh install of Windows. I just want to check out if my sound works because I didn't have my speakers plugged in at the time. So my computer, let's see. What do we got? Local disk I. Let's go with properties, just kind of check it out. So we're looking at 128 gigabytes. Of course, some of it's used up, free space. So yeah, it's about right. That looks good to me. So it's removable. C, D. There's my Windows disk. Let's eject that. We don't need that right now. And I think we are set up. So the rest of it's just buttoning everything up, putting the lid back on, and I guess maybe getting some games going on it. I don't know. We'll have to see what we have in the collection to put onto this machine. But otherwise, I think we're generally pretty good to go. Again, I just want to check one other thing. This is sort of like the media center kind of addition, so you can check it out and see what's happening. Not compatible. Uh-oh. There we go. Anyways, I'm not really sure how all this works, but you can see it's now set up with Media Center. It's that kind. Unfortunately, I don't have any media files on here, but yeah, I mean, it's good to go. Otherwise, we'll have to figure out the sound. Maybe I can adjust the sound. Oh, there we go. No wave, no MIDI though. No sound, well, no sound coming out of that. So let's go back in here. Go back into the sound here. Sounds really loud. All right, we got it. Looks good to me. So it seems like all the drivers are installed. I guess it installed my my Sound Blaster card, which is kind of cool. I think it overrode the other one and installed the Sound Blaster for me. I didn't even realize it would do that. I thought I'd have to go find the driver for that, but it seems like I'm plugged into my Sound Blaster card and it seems to be working perfectly fine. Now, I don't know right now if I have CD audio, but that's something that I'll have to look into. Other than that, we got this one set up. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I'll see you all later.